I think, in all honesty, can we just have some finality on this petroleum issue and move on? But the implications frighten me. If you are going to be removing subsidy by June, the rate at which inflation goes up, I shudder to think of what the spiral effect might be. So that might probably be the first landmine of any government coming in place. But that's the way we work out.
For us to be very certain that this subsidy of a thing will be removed by June is another story entirely. Because I do remember this current government, when they were campaigning back in 2015, they promised that they were going to remove subsidy. In fact, they said there was nothing like subsidy. I mean, the record was there in the public domain. This is not them saying what we're not sure of. But here we are. We're still paying subsidy. In fact, we're still going to pay subsidy until June. And now that we're buying at 240 in some areas, I've heard on this program that some people are buying as high as 500 naira in some areas. Now, if we're paying as much as 500 naira to buy a liter of fuel, who is to say that we're still paying subsidy right now?
Well, to be honest with you, there I go again. I wanted to have a peaceful Friday, but you spoilt it again.
Sorry.
With this question.
Sorry.
The truth is that this subsidy thing is a racket. Just like you find racketeering in the area of crude and so on and so forth, is a racket, and it's feeding a lot of the elite in Nigeria. Because it's the dumbest thing I ever heard of. Okay, so what happens? I'm supposed to go bring in petrol at a price. When the petrol supposedly lands, I then take the paperwork to whoever it is, and the government pays me the subsidy. I mean, who does that? Who does that? Why, for example, instead of paying subsidy, why can't the government import the oil and then sell to marketers at a subsidized price? Why haven't you, over 8 years, gotten the refineries running? Because if your refineries are running, then you can subsidize the cost of the crude. You understand what I'm saying? Because and you are going to take it out of your OPEC quota. It's a win-win situation. But our politicians don't do that. They don't want that. And a lot of the elites that you see today, a lot of the big men put in this committee or that committee, that is where our elite, that is where they feed from.
There's so many free money.
Including the politicians. It is free money. That's what it is. So it's a racket. There's no other way to look at it. It's a racket. A lot of the elite you see in the upper areas driving jeeps and so on. Do you know how many people live off government money, Sheriff? If we had a journalist, maybe a Hundein, that's his name, Abi.
Yes. If
we could have an Hundein who could document the leakages, you'll discover that close to 30% of your big men, the jobs you think they have, and all the fine offices, it is from these things that they benefit. And they're very close to power. Very, very close. Extremely close. Some of them we know, we identify, but they are now, some of them are now so-called elder statesmen. Because you need to look at these things. When we were growing up, we had so-called rich men, but they had industries to show for it. The Odala Odutolas, Ojuku's father.
Yeah, they had big industries.
Big industries. They had it.
They worked really hard.
Worked real hard, and you could see. And they didn't fritter their money away anyhow. But what do you have today? People buying various cars. Yesterday I checked the price of one car. An SUV, just under the SUV. Not bulletproof, 96 million. They buy it. They buy it. They buy it. So
did you want to buy one?
A big Would you stop embarrassing me?
You said you should the price.
I was had a I was full of my jacket.
You said you checked out the price. I just wanted to find out if you wanted to buy one.
I must admit that for the first time I said you shocked me.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
Well, I need to catch my breath. For the first time you shocked me big. Even, you see, for somebody like me, even if I had the money tenfold,
Yeah.
I'm a sensible person. I'm not giving to the gallery. A lot of our elites are very emotional. They must show off this money. They don't want to have the money. They don't want to develop anything, but they just must show this money. Call a party, champagne everywhere. They must show. They must see. They must spray. They must show the money. Don't you see the madness? If you look at the way some of our elite behave, you will know that there's a certain madness going on that is tied to easy money. Like I said, the SB Bakares, all these, the Fajami Rokuns back, that at least I know in this part of the world, the Dantatas and so on and so forth. These were businessmen. Ojukus Fala ran a successful transport business. You know, these were people who were doing real good business. But what you have now, only God will help us. And that is why that question that you asked could be valid.
Right.
It could be valid.